get out of my way. Don't tell me what I should do, I'ma do what I want anyway. Don't really care what you think, you should get out of my way. Get your talking face out of my way. 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 I got too many plays, I won't even play. Out of my way. Get out of my way. Out of my way. Out of my way. All my friends coming with all their friends, and we get active, yeah. Don't we get active, yeah. All of my tattoos black, my eyes bloodshot red. I'm ready right now. Don't run your mouth too quick. Let's get it. Stop talking. One way, my way, my way, my way. It's in my mind, really, this in my DNA. I gotta get it, I don't know no other way. Get out my way.
After 272 regular season games, 12 playoff games, one last one on the NFL calendar, and it happens tonight as EA Sports welcomes you to the Super Bowl. This one is for all the marbles. It's the AFC champion, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the champions of the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen with you, the veteran Chris Boswell, getting things started. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. First carry for Saquon Barkley. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 10. That's enough for a quick first down.
And this run game certainly didn't waste any time getting settled in. Nice job by the offensive line, displacing defenders at the point of attack, and allows the back to pick up a nice chunk to get this game rolling.
180, 180.
On first down, it's Hurts. That's caught. Saquon Barkley. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. It's a gain of 12 there. First down, Philadelphia.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the first down.
And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
This is pretty impressive from the big guy in the middle, Mike. I mean, typically we see these guys make most of their plays on the interior of the defense. They're big bodies, they're run stuffers. But look at the athleticism here as he's able to get outside the numbers and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
On third down, it's Hurts. This one just too far for the receiver out in front of him. That one falls incomplete.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
What a call on this opening drive. They're going to go for it on 4th down. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. Got a man. It's complete to A.J. Brown. And he's going to have the Eagles' 1st down. Big letdown defensively. They allow him to convert on 4th and long. So out of the gun, they give it to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but we have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up 1st and goal.
Sometimes all it takes is that one key block to spring this back. He's just so good in open space. And, man, that was a heck of a run, and it sets up 1st and goal.
Chance here for the first points of this Super Bowl. 1st down and goal. Here's Barkley. And he's in! Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jake Elliott now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Eagles are off and running here in the Super Bowl. They lead 7-0. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Showing off the big leg. Didn't want to defend a return, so this ball going to be spotted at the 35-yard line.
Ready.
Here's the rookie running back out of Miami. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
Ready, ready. Liking 18.
They'll stick with him again. And he's going to pick up the 1st down across midfield and down at the 49.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on 2nd down, knowing they had 3rd and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the 1st down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
Cougar 19. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. Go.
He'll drop to throw. He'll go right and find his running back. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
Great example of 1st down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly 2nd down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
On the jump from the 42-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
Get it. Ready, ready.
Here comes the jet sweep. And this defense having nothing of it. They get him down for a loss on the play.
When you come across on a jet sweep, Mike, you're hoping once you get the ball, all you see is green grass and open space. Well, in this case, he had a lot of unhappy defenders waiting for him, and they're able to put him down behind the line.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. Exiting the pocket right. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. A big play here in the big game. 37 yards.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Now a chance to pay off that big play. They have it first and goal.
Ready? 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Here's a run. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to second and goal.
Ready?
At the Eagles'
On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. And he's forced to just get rid of it here. Now they're going to have to regroup and try again on third and goal.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Play 7 of the drive coming up, and it's third and goal.
Ready? Bronco 80. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Go Chap, go Chap. Lions.
Out of the gun, he'll throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down to score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score on the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop. And they come over with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
He'll start on the ground with Barkley. He'll take this forward for about a yard at best. Patrick Queen, the linebacker, they're on the tackle. So, from the 37, here's second and 8. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force third down.
And 8 yards to go.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. That's over the middle, complete to Brown. And it looks like he's going to have the first down. What great work after the catch to extend the drive. Eagles in possession to start the second quarter as they've got it with first and 10. Tight end going in motion here. On first down, it's Hurts. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second and 6. Hurts again. A quick throw, that's complete on the slant. And they'll whistle him down, but not before it picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
63.
They'll run straight ahead with Barkley. Ooh, well, now you see him, now you don't. Good juke move there, and a gain of 6. Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and 4. Hurts He finds Devontae Smith. And he's in. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Eagles. Elliott on now for the PAT. His kick is good. And the Eagles will move out to a 14-7 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Now return coming from the 7. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. They'll begin here on the ground. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
2nd and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
They'll look to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
It is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. On the run to the right. He'll let it go deep left sideline. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
Ready.
They do indeed snap it as they'll try and throw. That's going to be caught. And he's going to have the Steelers' 1st down. Gain of 13 as they convert by a good 3 yards on that 4th and long.
Well, you can see the entire sideline and, frankly, the entire fan base kind of holding their breath. That decision on your own side of midfield to go for it on 4th down, had they not gotten it, it's a tough position to put your defense in, but that's a conversation for another day. The offense is going to stay on the field after the conversion, and now they got to see, can they take advantage of that aggressive play call and finish this drive with points? They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Go.
Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Quinyon Mitchell up to make the stop.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
This is 3rd and 6. We'll try to get this one on the ground.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball.
And the rush is going to get there. He goes down. were taking a big risk going for it from their own territory. It does not pay off, and it's a turnover on down. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. I'll run up the middle with Barkley. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. He'll stay on the ground with Barkley. With good blocking leading the way, he's got the 1st down inside the 25. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. Back for more on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Hurts to the air on 1st down. Now a screen set up for Barkley. This one going to be sniffed out, blown up in the backfield.
Well, the best screen plays, of course, you want the offensive lineman out in front of the running back. They act as his escort, his lead blockers. But what you can't afford is for the defenders to be in the backfield and get to the running back, because those offensive linemen, they can't help him at all.
The tight end going in motion to the left. They'll run it here with Saquon. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it. Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their 2nd. Talk things over before 3rd down. To throw is Hurts. He'll look underneath here for Barkley. And he's going to be taken down short of the marker. That is going to set up an interesting 4th down decision.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the 1st down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
The field goal unit staying put. They're going to line up and go for this on 4th down. So the Eagles will use their 1st timeout here as they'll discuss what's to come as 4th down is looming. So instead of going for the 1st down, in comes the field goal unit. Bit of a surprise here. Elliott's kick is good. And the Eagles will tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the 1st half.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
That ball's going to hop into the end zone. It's a touchback that will come out to the 20-yard line. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Ready.
Right away, they'll set up to throw.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his 1st and 2nd read, but what they fail to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
Flush to his right. Now a shot here, deep middle. Oh no, back over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronnie Hickman.
So in this last possession, Mike, they take the ball away, and they do it from playing cover 3 defense. So what that means is there's 3 deep players. There's 2 corners and a safety. They divide the field into thirds, and everybody else underneath is just looking at the quarterback. Straight zone coverage, played perfectly, leads to a big takeaway.
And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down. They bring the tight end in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Barkley. Here's a timeout for Philadelphia. That is their second. They'll stop with just a little bit over 30 seconds to go in this first half.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 46-yard line.
They face 2nd down and 7. To throw is Hurts. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And he is out of bounds. That's the second time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards. On 1st down, it's Hurts. Open man left side is Brown. He's got it. Now the Eagles will use the last of their timeouts as it comes to 22 seconds remaining till halftime.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
Open man, right side. He's got it. He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 15. That's catch 3 just on this drive. And it gets his team a first down. Hurts will try it again. He pulls it in around the 5. And he's close to another first down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
It's 2nd and inches at the 2-yard line.
He'll get up and clock it here, and they're set up to possibly get 3 before the break.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
2 quarters left in the NFL season as we decide a champion. Back underway here at the Super Bowl. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here's a run to begin this 3rd quarter. Not much happening there. Just a short game. From the 31. Here is 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Moving to his right. He'll take a shot down the middle of the field. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. A big play here in the big game. 41 yards. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10.
Bronco 80, take the Lions. Stretch the Eagles, stretch the Eagles.
He'll drop to throw. He'll go underneath here, the running back out of the backfield. And they'll have 1st and goal. He is down inside the 10-yard line.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
He'll look to throw. Rolling right. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And a good job to make sure he didn't get loose. Brought down around the 7.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field. And this is a great example here why.
Here we go, shot. Cowboy 80.
To the air one more time. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Nakobe Dean. And good running on the return. That'll help him out as the ball right around the 45-yard line.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, well, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field. Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
He'll get that out to Barkley. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
73, and it's Delta.
On third down, they'll go with Saquon. It's a gain of 10 yards. Good for an Eagles first down.
Typically in a third down situation like this, Mike, you're thinking pass, but give credit to this offensive play caller. He flips his tendencies upside down, keeps the ball on the ground. Not only does he get a fresh set of downs, they pick up good yardage.
And it'll be brought down right around the 40. That's Alex Highsmith in for the tackle. Once again, it's Barkley. And he will not be able to get free. Picking up only a yard. Now, it's third down.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Tiger Hornet. Great, set.
From the shotgun, it's Hurts. That'll be taken in by Barkley. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down mark.
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem, and that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
A 52-yard attempt.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Eagles will extend their third quarter lead.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
He fields it at the 8. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
19, Tiger, 19.
Back to throw here to begin the drop. He's going to air this one out. That is brought in. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. A big play here in the big game. 39 yards.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and plays like this, it just shows how special he can be.
Here's 1st and 10.
That's another Steelers.
7 Pirates, 18.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Now they'll set up to throw. He's got it about the 8. And they're going to be set up now as he's brought down at the 5-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl. And good for the first down.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
From the gun, here's a handoff. Good blocking, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, yeah, the offense does their job, But can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
The score, Eagles 20, Steelers 14.
Maybe a little early for this here in the third quarter. They want to get it back now, so here comes an onside kick. The kickoff unit is out there, and they'll send this one away.
That's a risky call here, but I understand what they're thinking. You find yourself down in the third quarter. How do we steal some possessions? How do we get the ball back to our offense to cut into this deficit? But now in return, it's your defense that now has the tough task.
Come up, check, man. Check, man.
Here's a design run, and he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
It's a loss of a yard.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. Moving outside the pocket. A pass caught by Saquon. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up third down.
63.
On third down, it's Hurts. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And he's going to get awfully close to the first down marker, but appears just to be a few inches short.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
So now, Jake Elliott, an important kick coming up. This to make it a 2-possession lead. And this one, right down the middle. It's good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
A very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. Try to start on the ground, and a good run there to get him 5 yards. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw. Catch made right side by Wilson. He'll be out of bounds, but after picking up the first down on a gain of 7.
Things certainly look a little improbable right now, Mike, but I wouldn't say impossible. I think they've got to capitalize on this possession to pick up some points. Every single possession right now is priceless. Points, possessions, and then they got to get some defensive stops.
Back to throw. He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. He'll go right and find his running back. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
Brings up third and 13.
That one too far out in front. It is incomplete.
I think he predetermined that third down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
18 Rattler. 79 Broncos. 18 Pioneer. 19 tight.
Now or never, they'll throw on fourth down.
So the key to this fourth down stop defensively was their ability to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Anytime you can do that, you shrink the field, you limit the quarterback's options, and in this case, he can't find anyone, and ultimately, he goes down for a huge fourth down stop.
Here's a handoff to Barkley. And they'll take this down inside the 35. A pickup of 12 yards. First down, Philadelphia.
4-minute offense, Mike, so what does it mean? 1, make the defense use all of their remaining timeouts. 2, continue to pick up first downs, milk the clock. And then 3, if possible, finish with the ball in your hands.
Play clock has expired. We're not going to get this one off on top. On the handoff, this is Barkley. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. They have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
Here's Barkley. That's a good gain there. It's going to wind up just a couple of yards shy of that first down.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, Mike, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the fourth quarter, which typically means I had the lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. They'll try to run here with Barkley. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they are able to keep this drive moving. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, they'll use another timeout on this side of it at 1:55. On the ground, this is Barkley. Looking for the pylon, but the official right there is going to mark them out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That is a gain of 15, and now it's first and goal. From the 1-yard line, first down and goal. Here's Barkley, and he barrels his way into the end zone. Saquon Barkley, touchdown Philadelphia. That is second touchdown of this Super Bowl. Saquon going to try to run it in. And he finds his way to the end zone again. Scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend the lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. And he will get back to only about his 20-yard line. That's where the drive will start.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready up. Come on, come on.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to air one out for Metcalf. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up second down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
DK Metcalf was the intended target. And it'll be third down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact. I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. Truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
That is hard. Down the field, he's got it. And he's going to have the Steelers first down. Going to have it by plenty. Huge gainer on fourth down. That one down the field, but they cannot connect. And it's incomplete.
It's been a bit of a pedestrian game for this quarterback and ultimately this passing game here today, Mike. And I know they all would have loved to connect on that deep throw. I think that stat sheet would have looked a whole lot different, but just a little...
Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's fourth down.
Okay, ready? 18 cut, 19 tight. Ready?
He's going to air one out for Metcalf. That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on fourth and long. That was a big ask, and the defense turns them away. The defense can stop it twice more as the kneel down comes. And the Eagles have done it. They are your Super Bowl champions. Well, a fitting ending to a